Motivation is a spark, discipline is the fire. We all get motivated. We've all felt that rush the moment we hear a powerful speech, read a life-changing quote, or have a breakthrough idea. We feel unstoppable. But here's the truth, that feeling fades. Motivation is fleeting. It's emotion-based. It shows up when it wants and disappears when it's inconvenient. Discipline doesn't care how you feel. It shows up no matter what. If you want to change your life, don't chase motivation. Build discipline. Because the people who transform their health, build great businesses, repair broken relationships, or rise after failure, these people aren't relying on emotion. They're relying on consistent action. They've made a decision, not just once, but every single day. Motivation is loud, it's exciting, it fills your mind with possibilities. But discipline is quiet, it's routine. It's the 5 a.m. alarm when you don't feel like getting up. It's the workout child when you're tired. It's saying no to distractions when no one is watching. It's doing what needs to be done when the energy is gone, when the applause is silent, and when the results still haven't shown up. The gym is full on January 1st. That's motivation. But go back in April and it's nearly empty. That's the absence of discipline. Every successful person you admire, every leader, every artist, every athlete, every innovator built their life on one simple truth: discipline. Motivation is a powerful emotion. It feels good. It makes you dream bigger, push harder, and believe that anything is possible. But it's also temporary. It fades when the alarm goes off early. It disappears when things get uncomfortable. That's why motivation alone can't build a meaningful life, because feelings aren't built to last, decisions are. Discipline is a decision. It's a choice you make every day, not based on how you feel, but based on what you've committed to. Motivation asks, do I feel like it today? Discipline says, I do it anyway. That's the difference. Discipline doesn't need to be inspired. It doesn't need music or hype or a perfect mood. It needs a reason, a why, and a standard you refuse to lower. People who rely on motivation start fast but quit early. People who choose discipline may not always feel excited, but they always move forward. That's what separates dreamers from doers. The decision to keep showing up, even when the emotions run dry, is what transforms potential into progress. It's not about waiting for the perfect day. It's about mastering ordinary days with extraordinary consistency. Discipline doesn't ask for permission. It shows up and does the work. We live in a world obsessed with intensity. We celebrate the all-nighters, the crash diets, the massive efforts made in short bursts. But the truth is, success doesn't come from doing something huge once. It comes from doing something huge once it comes from doing something small consistently. That's where discipline lives. It's not about how loud you start, it's about how long you last. Anyone can be fired up for a few days. Anyone can go all in for a week. But the people who actually change their lives are the ones who show up over and over, even when no one's watching. They understand that greatness is built in the repetition, not the rush. Intensity burns bright, but burns out fast. Consistency made greatness ourselves, ocean of derby and non-something. Be quieter, less glamorous, and far more demanding, but it builds momentum. It creates systems. It trains your body and your mind to trust the process. When you commit to small daily actions, waking up on time, making one healthy choice, staying focused for one more hour, you build a foundation that lasts. It's not the big leaps that move you forward. It's the small steps repeated with discipline. Progress doesn't reward the intense. It rewards the consistent who refuse to quit. Confidence doesn't come from compliments, achievements, or applause. It comes from keeping the promises you make to yourself. Every time you say you're going to do something, wake up early, stick to your routine, hit your goals, and you follow through, you prove to yourself that you are reliable. That proof becomes self-respect, and that self-respect becomes confidence. Most people struggle with confidence not because they aren't capable, but because they've built a habit of breaking their own word. Discipline changes that. It trains you to follow through even when you're tired, even when it's inconvenient. And with each small victory, your confidence grows, not because someone told you you're good, but because you know you showed up when it was hard. Confidence isn't ego, it's not hype, it's the quiet certainty that you can trust yourself when it matters. And the more disciplined you become, the more that trust deepens. You stop doubting your ability to overcome. You stop second-guessing your potential. You've seen yourself do the hard things. You've proven again and again that you can be counted on. Confidence is not something you find, it's something you build, one disciplined action at a time. Willpower is like a battery, it runs out. You can feel strong in the morning, full of energy and determination, ready to take on the world, but as the day wears on, stress builds, distractions increase, and that willpower starts to fade. That's why relying on willpower alone is risky. It's unpredictable. Some days it's strong, other days it's nowhere to be found. Habits, however, don't ask for your permission. They don't need your emotions to cooperate. When something becomes a habit, you do it automatically, even when you don't feel like it. That's the beauty of discipline. It turns the hard things into normal things. You brush your teeth every day, not because you're highly motivated, but because it's a habit. The same applies to waking up early, exercising, reading, focusing on your goals. Once it's wired into your routine, it becomes who you are, not just something you do. The most successful people don't depend on bursts of willpower. They build strong systems, and those systems carry them through when their feelings fall short. Discipline transforms daily actions into automatic behaviors, and those automatic behaviors stack up day after day until success is no longer an effort. It's why work it all. It's the outcome. Results don't come from what you do once, they come from what you repeat. Progress lives on the other side of repetition, and the only way to access that side is through discipline. Most people start with excitement, but the moment it gets boring, they stop. They want change, but they don't want the grind that creates it. They chase motivation instead of mastering repetition. But repetition is where the real transformation happens. It's in the early mornings where no one sees. It's in the quiet work when no one's clapping. It's in doing the same thing over and over without immediate reward, without guaranteed outcomes, just belief and discipline. The body gets stronger through repeated lifts, not a single workout. Skills improve through daily practice, not sudden inspiration. Relationships grow through consistent effort, not grand gestures. The small repeated actions done with purpose and intention are what build momentum. And that momentum creates results. It doesn't happen all at once, and it rarely looks impressive in the moment. But over time, the compound effect kicks in. Effort adds up. Habits harden. Discipline turns into transformation. The repetition you commit to today becomes the future you'll be living tomorrow. Freedom is often misunderstood. People think it means doing whatever you want, whenever you want. But real freedom isn't found in impulsive choices or avoiding responsibility. It's found in self-control. It's found in structure. It's found in discipline. The more disciplined you are, the more freedom you earn. Discipline frees you from regret because you followed through. It frees you from stress because you stayed prepared. It frees you from chaos because your life is built on intention, not reaction. When you live without discipline, every day is a scramble. You're constantly reacting to problems you could have prevented, constantly chasing the time you've wasted, constantly making promises to yourself that you never keep. That's not freedom, that's a trap. Discipline creates the kind of life where you're in control. It gives you the power to say no to what doesn't matter and yes to what does. It gives you margin, direction, and clarity. It may seem strict at first, but it produces peace, progress, and confidence. With discipline, you become the kind of person who leads their life instead of being led by it. You stop drifting from one situation to the next and start designing a life that aligns with your purpose.